Hi everyone, hope you're alright. See people logging on. Hello everyone. Feel free to use the chat in the side. We'll while down the time till past, and then we'll kick off in earnest. And don't forget, while you're signing in and logging on, don't forget there's a link down at the bottom to donate to Perennial and Horted 21. That'd be brilliant. Really hoping there's more than 5 people turn up. For those of you already logged on, we've got 50 questions coming up. Quite a bit of information about both Perennial and the Grounds Management Association, so hopefully you'll find a lot of it interesting. And if you're just here to quiz, then hopefully you'll find some of the questions challenging as well. Who'd have thought these quiz nights had become so big? What a difference 12 months makes. Hopefully everybody else has got drinks on the go and enjoying their evening. I ummed and ahed about breaking my dry spell, but decided against it, and so we'll see how things go. You see in the chat there that GroundsWeek has taken place for the first time this week, and what a great initiative that has been from the Grounds Management Association. And what a partnership this is to partner up with Perennial as well, who we've had in at the club to do a talk about everything that they do. And I know myself and a couple of the other members of our team have run for Perennial in the past to help raise money. So yeah, it's just a great partnership, and it's good to see Chris is here, and she's brought the wine and crisps. And now I guess it's all about what crisp choice that is, and that can tell a lot about a person. The safe option, salt and vinegar, safe option. Can't go wrong. Quite partial to a prawn cocktail myself, but you can't go wrong with a salt and vinegar. I was brought up in the pubs of Burnley on scampi fries rather than prawn cocktail, but that was the move when I came down south. Prawn cocktail crisps. So we're still hovering around that sort of five people here, but don't forget, if you're so inclined, please do donate to the link below. Strawberries and cream crisps, now that would be something, wouldn't it? Some of the weird and wonderful flavours they come out with, I'm surprised that's not already been done. We have just partnered with Sipsmiths, who have made a demister that smells like fresh cut grass to go along with your gin. So strawberries and cream crisps can't be that far away. £3,648 already raised from quiz night so far. I mean, that's an amazing amount. Let's hope we can improve that tonight. Thanks for the message, Luke. Hope you're well. Now, Numbers are slowly climbing now. We're up to 8. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Hello, Kate. Thanks for joining. Hope you're well tonight. You're not the first person to say that to me in the last couple of days, Luke. That's my partner's choice. She likes a large clock. We have one in here and one in the lounge. You think we'd learn to tell the time at some point? There's plenty of facts to get through. Plenty of facts to get through tonight. The amount of help that Perennial was given over the last 12 months with the unfortunate situation that we've had with coronavirus, and the number of people that they actually helped in 2020 rose by 25%, which is incredible. I mean, the fact that 25% of extra people needed help is not great, but the fact that Perennial were able to help is brilliant. And so if anybody else out there logging on now needs any help, feel free to reach out to Perennial on their website, perennial.org.uk, or call in on their number, which is 0800 093 8543. It has been the weirdest year. We certainly know it. We've not holding a championships last year. But we're very much looking forward to getting back into the swing of things this year. And what a great way to start off the year, really, with this GMA partnership and the GroundsWeek initiative. And hopefully, it won't just be a celebration of the current grounds care sector, but it'll also help bring in some much needed youth and new blood in the industry. So we really can't thank the GMA enough for this initiative, and we obviously can't thank Perennial enough for all the help that they've given over the last 12 months and beyond, but definitely the last 12 months. Along with GroundsWeek, we've also got a huge list of sponsors. Good evening to you, Gary. Pretzels, nice choice. Yeah, we do have this huge list of sponsors, ranging from Infinicut and Toro, Sisgrass and John Deere, to SGL, ICL, ISEKI, Turf Matters and Turf Business, Sports and Turf by British Sugar. Sorry. Hi to you too, Louise. Nutrigrow and Premier Pictures. If I've missed any out, we'll mention them all again. So we're sort of 10 minutes away from the proper start now. Looks like we've got 10 people in at the minute, so we've doubled the number we had when I started. Hope everybody who's logging on is doing well. I think the last quiz night I did for the team, we did on Zoom, and it is a bit weird presenting to everybody rather than just talking to myself at the minute. But then some people will tell you that I do walk around talking to myself most of the time anyway. Apologies if you hear any sounds from the background. The kids will be getting ready to go to bed soon. But in the meantime, I think they may be playing games or whatnot. I was just looking through some of the facts and figures here and seeing where some of the money that gets raised goes to. With £50 for emergency food vouchers, which is amazing. We've donated quite a bit to food banks, and you'd like to think that those sort of things weren't needed, but the fact that Perennial are offering to help out with emergency food vouchers, so £50 worth of donations could go there, or to paying heating bills, so that people who need it don't have to face the choice of turning it on or leaving it off, and they could pay up to a month's or pay for a month's heating bills with £100. It's an amazing contribution to somebody's life who may be struggling. Okay, we're up to 12, so welcome everybody who's joined. Hope you're all doing well. If you're just joining, you can see the link at the bottom of the page, and please feel free to spend these last few minutes before the quiz donating. But that link will be there the whole time, so if you don't do it now, then feel free to do it at any point in the evening. Okay, we're sort of 5 minutes away now from that 7:30 start. And there you might be able to see in the chat bar at the side that the link's been uploaded again for the Just Giving to be able to donate, so please do. Good evening to you, Adam. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining us. Just for those that are here, while we've still got a few minutes until we quiz, just to let people know that last year Perennial helped people to access 2.3 million of statutory benefits, and £6,304,000 worth of debt was successfully written off. It's an amazing amount. written off or disputed, sorry. It's an amazing amount and such a big help for people last year when jobs were up in the air and everything was up in the air a little bit. So again, amazing effort from Perennial for all the help that they've given. Good evening, Phil. Thank you very much. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm just hoping that I've managed to set my phone so that it won't keep pinging off every time Liverpool score against Chelsea tonight. Am I to take it from that, Kate, that you're a Liverpool fan, or it's been up and down, Phil. It's been emotional. It's been a roller coaster. Started out all right until Christmas. All right, we're sort of a minute away from starting, so I think I'm going to take one last glug of water. Sorry, Phil, I think we might have to disconnect you. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I think I'll take one last glug of water and then hopefully we'll be there on time and hopefully we'll get more people joining us along the way. All right, well, we've hit past, so despite what the clock says, we've hit past, so we'll make a start. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's special quiz. I'll be your host tonight, and my name is Will Briley. I'm a senior groundsman at the All England Lawn Tennis Club, or you may know it better as Wimbledon. It's been an absolute honour and privilege to be asked to help with this quiz night and to be involved with the two businesses that mean a great deal to me, Perennial and the Grounds Management Association. Now, I don't want things to feel too stuffy, so we can break the ice a little bit. And, you might have heard the kids in the background, so I am partial to a dad joke, so I'll let you in on one right now. As we've just come out of February, and I'm sure everybody had, or I hope everybody had a lovely time around Valentine's. While everybody else is happy, for us at Wimbledon, it's kind of a sad time because for tennis players, love means nothing. I'll leave you with that one. All right, so I'd like to thank you all for taking part in Perennial's second quiz, raising money for the Horted 21 campaign. And as you may have heard before, amazingly, through 6 quiz nights so far, they've raised £3,648. It's an amazing achievement, and thanks to everybody who's donated so far. Again, if you haven't, there is a link at the bottom, and there is a link being put into the side chat bar, so you're more than welcome to donate there. Now, the last 12 months have been hard for everyone in completely different ways. But do you always know where you can turn for help? Well, hopefully because you're logging on to Perennial's YouTube, you do. But Perennial set up Hot Aid 20 to make sure that nobody in need missed out on their support, and are continuing to help this year with Hot Aid 21. They've helped numerous people, and in fact, in 2020, the number of people they helped rose by 25%. So if you feel you know somebody, or you feel you could use a little bit of help with advice, helping to reduce or delay bill payments, or provide financial assistance to cover essential items, particularly food and heating, then reach out to Perennial via their website, perennial.org.uk, or call their number 0800 093 8543. This week has also seen the launch of the Grounds Management Association's GroundsWeek. It's been an awareness campaign, really, to celebrate and support the current industry and to help engage and inspire future generations, hopefully to come into sports turf. And for those who aren't aware who the GMA are, if you usually log into Perennial's Facebook, or you're a Perennial supporter and you aren't sure who the GMA are, they are the leading not-for-profit membership organisation for professionals, volunteers and businesses in the sports care and lawn turf care industry. And as we mentioned about the Grounds Week, it's great to see so many companies that have taken time out to sponsor the week, and we'd just like to thank those now, and that we named a few earlier, but we'll just go through the whole list because every one of them deserves a thank you. So we have Infinicut, Toro, Sisgrass, Sports and Turf by British Sugar, John Deere, Redexim, Nutrigrow, Premier Pictures, Kubota, Turf Business, Rigby Taylor, SGL, ICL, ISEKI, and Turf Matters. Now, most of those were great companies before Grounds Week, but I think we can all agree now that they are all great companies, and what a show of support it is for the industry from all of those. So we won't take up too much time, but since nobody's going to the pub at the minute, if you were to go out for a quiz night, how much would you pay for your quiz night? Drinks, food, taxi home after one drink too many, everything like that. Have a think about that, and please do donate. Every penny will help. But okay, I think that's enough of the bum for now. Let's not lose sight of why we're here, and that's to do a quiz. So if you grab your pen and paper and write your answers down, I'd love to say there's a prize, but the only prize on offer is professional or personal pride, so no cheating. And the format will be 5 rounds of 10 questions. We'll do a little bit of a break after round 3, and then I'll give you the answers to the first 3 rounds. We'll do a bit of a score check, and then we'll continue with the quiz after that. I'll also throw in a few more facts and figures in the meantime, and if you're lucky, you might get another dad joke or two. So everybody, pens at the ready, Google and Alexa turned off, and let's begin. So we'll start with a geography round. First question is going to be a pretty easy one. So what colour is the spot in the middle of the Japanese flag? Told you it was an easy one to start. So what colour is the spot in the middle of the Japanese flag? And for anybody who wants to use the chat, please do, but please don't give away any answers. From now on, those questions aren't going to be quite as easy as that one. Question 2. By what name is the former country of Southwest Africa now known? Told you they weren't going to get easier. By what name is the former country of Southwest Africa now known? I'd love to go and visit this place. And question 3. Machu Picchu can be found in which country? That was Machu Picchu can be found in which country? Come the end of the round, I'll ask if anybody needs any repeating. Oh, it looks like somebody's been to Machu Picchu and I am so jealous. Oh, everybody's been. Seems like it was a group holiday and I wasn't invited. Right, question 4. Which country has Anas Vaduz as its capital? No, they might have been harder to answer. I didn't realize they were going to get harder to ask. That was, which country has Anas Vaduz as its capital? Oh, Anita, you're with me. Come on, let's go. We'll head off. Question 5. Which group of travellers set out from the Tabard Inn? That was, which group of travellers set out from the Tabard Inn? I think I'm with you on that one, Luke. I think I'd like to go anywhere right now. Question 6. In which country is the world's highest waterfall? That was, in which country is the world's highest waterfall? Question 7, and this is a good one for anybody who does do any travelling for their work. The M1 motorway is how many miles long? So, start to finish, the M1 motorway is how many miles long? Question 8. How many US states begin with the letter A? Now, if anybody has any issues with my pronunciation due to my northern accent, then please do say. And that was, how many US states begin with the letter A? Question 9. And here is somewhere I can talk about. In which European city would you find the Spanish Steps? And this is a lovely city with plenty to see, and the Spanish Steps are one of them. But in which European city would you find the Spanish Steps? And the last question of the geography round, and hopefully the accent hasn't given this one away. In which English county might you find the towns of Darwin and Nelson? Both neighbouring towns of mine on opposite sides. In which English county might you find the towns of Darwin and Nelson? So that's round 1 done. Hopefully everybody got everything there. Anybody missed a question, then feel free to put it in the chat and we can repeat any questions. Hopefully in this little break between rounds 1 and 2, hopefully you've donated and helped out with Perennial's Horted 21. But if you need any extra encouragement, there's just a little bit of information on where your money could go. So £25 could buy scarves, hats and gloves for struggling families to provide warm clothes for those who need it most. £50 could provide emergency food vouchers, and £100 could pay for a month's heating, meaning that people in need don't have to face the choice of if they have it on or not. All three of them, great ways to spend the money. As we spoke about before we started quizzing, the emergency food vouchers thing is such a big thing. I know how full food banks have been, and having donated myself to food banks to help out, just see so much positivity in every little bit of help that Perennial are giving. It's an amazing thing. And we're going to move on to round 2, and we've gone from one of my favourite subjects in geography to probably my least favourite in history, but thankfully I'm asking these questions rather than answering them. So we'll move ahead with round 2, and question 1: which country was the first to give women the right to vote in 1893? So that was, which country was the first to give women the right to vote in 1893? Question 2: Queen Elizabeth II's grandfather was which monarch? So that was Queen Elizabeth II's grandfather was which monarch? Question 3: Name 2 of the countries that invaded Egypt during the 1956 Suez Crisis. I was named 2 of the countries that invaded Egypt during the 1956 Suez Crisis. Question 4: What did the Romans call Scotland? That was, what did the Romans call Scotland? Cheers, Gary. That's as I'm not drinking, I need more water than normal. Question 5: The United Nations was formed in 1945, but what organisation did it replace? Almost sounds like a superhero group. But the United Nations was formed in 1945, but what organisation did it replace? Question 6: Which Commonwealth nation was granted full independence from Britain in March 1986? What a great year that was. A month too early, but a great year nonetheless. So that was, which Commonwealth nation was granted full independence from Britain in March 1986? Question 7: In which century was Joan of Arc burnt at the stake? That was, in which century was Joan of Arc burnt at the stake? Oh no, that's a question I should know, but unfortunately my tennis knowledge isn't quite as good as my tennis court maintenance knowledge. Hopefully you'll get the next one right, Luke. which is question 8, which is, which popular fast food chain was first opened in 1955? No clowning around for this one, please. That's which popular fast food chain restaurant was first opened in 1955? Question 9. Roger Bannister was the first man to run the mile in under 4 minutes in May of which year? Now, I went out for a run last night with my little one in his pushchair, and I don't think I could do a mile in under 40 minutes at the moment. So that was Roger Bannister was the first man to run the mile in under 4 minutes in May of which year? And the last question in this round, and this may be for anybody with a sweet tooth, but where did the Great Fire of London begin on the 2nd of September, 1666? That was, where did the Great Fire of London begin on the 2nd of September, 1666? I'm going to take a little segue in between rounds again here and just talk a little bit about the GMA. And, they're incredibly pleased to have partnered with Perennial to deliver this GroundsWeek special quiz night, and fully supports the charitable initiatives for the turf care sector and those working in horticulture. The GMA is working with its partners across sport, its membership, and many more, and you can get involved too. You can check social media. There are some good ones out there. I mean, I could recommend, I don't know, maybe at AELTC Groundsman. I hear he's got quite a following. And using the hashtag GroundsWeek, all one word. Or for any more information, you can go to the GMA's website or email for information at communications@thegma.org.uk. Now, this has been a little bit of a bugbear of mine, but research shows that young people aren't considering grounds management as a career, and we're facing a significant skills gap. So we're hoping that GroundsWeek can resonate with ground staff and volunteers of tomorrow and help younger generations to consider this career choice. Hopefully it'll help educate the public and remove any misconceptions around the sector. But obviously we want to carry on celebrating the ground staff of today and their contribution to the world of sport. And some of the pictures that I've seen on social media this week have been absolutely amazing, of teams and grounds, pitches and wickets and courses all looking exceptional, and all the hard work that's gone into everything with people carrying on working through the pandemic. And so with that, we'll move on to round 3, and that brings us to sports and groundsmanship. So Luke, hopefully you'll get a couple of these. If you're not getting these right as part of the GMA, then there might be a bit of an issue. So question 1 in round 3. Which 2 football clubs play at St James's Park? So that's question 1 of round 3. Which 2 football clubs play at St James's Park? Question 2, and I could lose my job if I didn't get this one right, but what is the seating capacity of Wimbledon Centre Court? So that was, what is the seating capacity of Wimbledon Centre Court? Question 3. 5 Premier League goalkeepers, past and present, have scored a goal. You can get a point for each, so you can get up to 5 points for this question. So that was 5 Premier League goalkeepers, past and present, have scored a goal. And good evening to Jeff. Nice to see you here. Question 4. Who is currently world golf number 2? So that was, who is currently the world golf number 2? I'll try and find you some easier questions, Jeff. Question 5. In rugby union, to the nearest metre, what is the distance for the longest successful drop goal? So that was question 5. In rugby union, to the nearest metre, what is the distance for the longest successful drop goal? Question 6. In horse racing, the oldest horse to win the Grand National was Peter Simple in 1853. But how old was this horse? So that was, in horse racing, the oldest horse to win the Grand National was Peter Simple in 1853. How old was this horse? Question 7, and we have a question about the second most famous person from Burnley after myself. In cricket, James Anderson recently took his 600th wicket for England. Who was his victim? So that was, in cricket, the Burnley Express, James Anderson, recently took his 600th wicket for England. But who was his victim? And question 8. In crown green bowling, the delivery of what signals the start of the game? I know I'd take a delivery of a dominoes about now, but question 8. In crown green bowling, the delivery of what signals the start of the game? Question 9. RTF in the turf industry stands for what? That was, RTF in the turf industry stands for what? And the last question for this round. Edward Buddin is credited with inventing the cylinder lawnmower, but which other commonly used tool is he credited with inventing? So that was, Edward Buddin is credited with inventing the cylinder lawnmower. God bless him for it. But which other commonly used tool is he credited with inventing? Now that's the end of round 3, and I wanted to end on that question because I thought it'd be nice to give a little fact about Edward Buddin. And he actually got the idea when he was passing a field one day and he saw a cow grazing in the field, and he thought to himself, we should be able to cut grass. just like that lawnmower over there. Right, and on that point, I'll let you all go and have a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and we'll do the answers to rounds 1 to 3. So go top up drinks, grab new snacks, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. For anybody sticking around, please feel free to donate to the link below. Two more rounds to go after this when everybody's back and ready. We've got a music round and science and nature. A few more bits of information on both Perennial and the GMA on the great work that they're both doing. Hopefully Chris hasn't run out of her salt and vinegar crisps yet. And everybody else is still topped up with their drinks. Oh, I moved on to chocolate. I've gone dairy free as well, so wine and chocolate, absolutely rubbing it in my face. I'll enjoy it vicariously through Chris. Some chocolate and wine would be lovely. Please keep checking the sidebar as well for little snippets from Perennial. Just reiterating there that you can reach out to the website perennial.org.uk or to their number 0800 093 8543. And don't forget to look into the GMA and everything they're doing with GroundsWeek. If you go onto the GMA website, as I was on it earlier today, then you'll see the big header for GroundsWeek right at the top of the web page there. Click on, have a read through. And now I'm looking through the comments at the side, and I'm not sure if people have come to quiz or just talk about the snacks that they're all having. I might have a few wine gums after this, but unfortunately I won't be joining you with a chocolate. Silly of me, I forgot to switch on the socket to keep the laptop charged, but we should be fine. Right, I think we've run through our 5 minutes, so hopefully everybody's topped up and all happy with their choice of snacks, be they Yorkie bar or stolen Milky Way stars. Or if you've gone for the ice cream, hopefully you're all snacked up or drinked up, and we'll get back to the matter at hand. And we'll start off by saying actually that last year Perennial managed to help people to access £2.3 million of statutory benefits, and £634,000 worth of debt was successfully written off or disputed. Now, 45% of service users borrowed money in 2020 because of the pandemic. So the picture ahead looks uncertain still for many. The charity also managed to provide £126,000 of financial support with crisis and emergency support for food, energy, housing, and just day-to-day living, accounting for over 45% of the help that was needed. It's amazing work again, and every penny of what Perennial can help comes from your donation. So please do donate. Not just tonight, but whenever you feel that you can, please do donate. Lindsay's come in. She's gone non-chocolate with the crisps and a G&T. Nice. It's actually my partner's birthday at the end of last week, and she got a bottle of gin tonight. There's flavours that I didn't even think existed. Cheers, Jeff, but I've found out since we started that it's not actually even telling the right time, so I need to change that afterwards. Right, we'll move on to round 4 in this round's questions about music. And all of these questions have a numerical answer, so hopefully that will help out with anybody who is struggling. Might just give you a little push in the right direction. So question 1 in the music round. Oh no, sorry, completely my fault. I was supposed to give you the answers to questions from rounds 1 to 3. So let's do that first, shall we? Completely my mistake there. All right, let's go back through. Pens at the ready to mark yourselves from rounds 1 to 3. So I think this was the one question that Luke thought he got right. So what colour is the spot in the middle of the Japanese flag? That was red. Question 2. By what name is the former country of Southwest Africa now known? That's Namibia. Bit of a conversation flowing around this one, but Machu Picchu can be found in which country? All those lucky enough to have gone. That's in Peru. It could well be, Phil. I honestly don't know the answer to that question. The scoring system in tennis is completely weird, so it could well have come from anything. Question 4 was, what country has Anas Vaduz as its capital? Now, if anybody got this one right, either through how I'm pronouncing it or anything, then fair play. So that was Liechtenstein. Anas Vaduz. Question 5. Which group of travellers set out from the Tabard Inn? And that was the Pilgrims in Canterbury Tales. Well, I think we know you didn't get that one right, Luke, since you you feel you only got question 1 right. Question 6. In which country is the world's highest waterfall? That was Venezuela. And then for those of you who travel, the M1 motorway is how many miles long? It was 193. How many US states begin with the letter A? That was 4. There's only 1 point for the answer 4. But if you could name them as well, all the better to you. It was Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, and Arkansas. And in which European city might you find, or would you find the Spanish Steps? That was Rome. Literally every corner you turn in Rome, there's something to see. And the Trevi Fountain always seems to be one of them. In question 10, in which English county might you find the towns of Darwin and Nelson? As I said, hopefully the accent didn't give it away too early on, but that's Lancashire. Round 2 was history. So which country was the first to give women the right to vote in 1893? That was New Zealand. Queen Elizabeth II's grandfather was which monarch? That was King George V. Now, there are 3 answers to question 3, but you only needed to give 2. So name 2 of the countries that invaded Egypt during the 1956 Suez Crisis. So you could have given us any of the 2 from Britain, France, and Israel. Question 4. What did the Romans call Scotland? That was Caledonia. Question 5. The United Nations was formed in 1945, but what organisation did it replace? I said this one sounded a little bit like a superhero team, but that was the League of Nations. Which Commonwealth nation was granted full independence from Britain in March 1986? That was Australia. And question 7 was, in which century was Joan of Arc burned at the stake? And that was the 15th. It was in 1431, if we're going to be precise. Now, question 8. Which popular fast food restaurant chain was first opened in 1955? Now, probably one of the best breakfasts around, but that's McDonald's. Question 9. Roger Bannister was the first man to run the mile in under 4 minutes in May of which year? And that was 1954. And the last question for the history round. Where did the Great Fire of London begin? On the 2nd of September, 1666. Pardon me. So we'll go to round 3, which was the sports and groundsmanship. Which 2 football clubs play at St James Park? I quite like that question. It's a tricky little one. That's Newcastle United and Exeter City. I'm sitting here with my work shirt on, and next question was, what is the capacity of Wimbledon Centre Court? Now, that's 15,000. surprising when you're in there. It actually doesn't look all that big. When I asked that question to my partner, she said 586. So she was slightly out. But yeah, the answer to question 2 was 15,000. Question 3, and you could get up to 5 points for this one, a point for each. So 5 Premier League goalkeepers, past and present, have all scored a goal. Could you name those 5 goalkeepers? So that was Peter Schmeichel, Brad Friedel, Paul Robinson, Tim Howard, and Asmir Begovic. Question 4. Who is currently the world golf number 2? And that's John Rahm. Question 5. In rugby union to the nearest metre, what is the distance for the longest successful drop? Now the question says to the nearest metre, and the answer is 77.7 metres. So we'll take 77 or 78 for that. I'll be generous. Question 6. In horse racing, the oldest horse to win the Grand National was Peter Simple in 1853. But how old was this horse? He's 15 years old. That's some effort. Question 7 was about the Burnley Express, James Anderson, who recently took his 600th Test wicket for England. But who was his victim? As Azhar Ali from Pakistan. Question 8. In Crown Green bowling, the delivery of what signals the start of the game? And unfortunately, it wasn't dominoes, but it is the jack. Question 9 was RTF in the turf industry stands for what? So that's Rhizomatous tall fescue. Rhizomatous tall fescue, depending on your pronunciation. And the last question for round 3 was Edward Buddin is credited with inventing the cylinder lawnmower, but which other commonly used tool is he credited with inventing? And that was the adjustable spanner. A great question. I have no idea about that. So, brilliant. All right, so hopefully you've all managed to tot up your answers so far and get a score. So shall we have a scores on the doors? See how people are getting on. Now we've got through 3 rounds. Anybody want to offer up any scores so far? Jeff, how are we getting on? Luke, I'm hoping you have got more than one. And Gary's doing well. He's got lots. It's a great effort. So far, I think we're sort of about the 34 score. What have we got so far? Adam's got 14 out of the 34, and Jeff's on 9 out of the 34. As we say, Gary's on lots of 34. Kate was doing so well until we came to the sports round. Well, it wouldn't be a quiz with the GMA and Perennial without a sports round, surely. Hopefully you'll be able to pick up some extra points in the music round and sports and nature afterwards. Oh, there you go, Luke, picking up some more points in the sports round. Chris with a 16. Oh, Gary, when you said you had lots, I thought you topped it at 34, but just a 33. Jason's joined. Hello, Jason. 11 for Jason at this point. Well, before we move on to round 4, let's just have a bit of a look at why the GMA did start GroundsWeek. I think it's easy to say that grounds management is often overlooked and misunderstood, but it's not always noticed just how vital to sport grounds management is. And it just shows in the research that not enough people are entering the industry as professionals or volunteers. And this year has been particularly difficult with sports clubs and organisations facing sudden closures and openings, along with the furlough, the adverse weather conditions, which I know all too much about, and just relentless uncertainty. However, through the upheaval, ground staff have continued to work hard each and every day and are holding sport together, ensuring that pitches are ready to go at a moment's notice. I don't know if people noticed during the football season, when the football season stopped for a while, how many groundsmen were sticking and twisting on whether to renovate or not. And it's those sort of decisions that don't get seen by the general public and things that go unnoticed. And it's great that something like GroundsWeek has come along and we can start to spotlight these decisions and just show how vital the grounds management teams are to pitches, courts, courses, greens, wickets, everything. So yeah, all we can say is thank you to the GMA for continuing to shine a spotlight on the industry, and hopefully we'll see an uptake of new professionals and volunteers coming into the sector after GroundsWeek. Okay, so we're going to move on to round 4, which is music. And as I said earlier, all of these answers are going to have a numerical tint to them. So hopefully that'll help out with people who are looking for some extra scores. So we'll start the music round and question 1. According to Paul Simon's song, how many ways were there to leave your lover? So that was the Paul Simon song. How many ways were there to leave your lover? Question 2. German songstress Nina had a hit about red balloons, but how many were there? And this song is brilliant in English or German. That was German songstress Nina had a hit about red balloons, but how many were there? Question number 3. The Clovers sang about a love potion. What number was that love potion? So that was the Clovers sang about a love potion. But what number was that love potion? Question 4. Dolly Parton sang about her working day, but what were her hours? She clearly didn't work in grounds care. So that was Dolly Parton sang about her working day, but what were her hours? So that would be a really awkward song for somebody in the turf care industry to sing about. Question 5. Now, should I read this or should I sing it? No, nobody needs to hear that. Okay. Oh, I need your love, babe, is the opening line of a Beatles song. But how many days a week did they need it? I apologise for anybody who now can't sleep after hearing that. So that was, oh, I need your love, babe, is the opening line of a Beatles song. But how many days a week did they need it? I don't think anybody wants to hear that again, Chris. Question 6. How many birds did Bob Marley sing about? And that was, how many birds did Bob Marley sing about? Question 7. How many problems does Jay-Z sing about? I did audition, but unfortunately I didn't make the cut for take that, unfortunately, Jeff. No. So that was, how many problems does Jay-Z sing about? Question 8. How many miles would the Proclaimers be? That was, how many miles would the Proclaimers be? If I'm being honest, Jeff, they broke up while I was still in primary school, so I think I missed out by quite a few years there. That's me just showing my age. How many miles would the Proclaimers be? Question 9. How many nations were in the army in the White Stripes 2003 hit? That was, how many nations were in the army in the 2003 White Stripes hit? And the last question in the music round. I take a deep breath and walk through the doors is the opening line of a Taylor Swift hit. What age is she describing and is the title of the song? And Taylor Swift only seems to write songs when she's broken up with somebody, so maybe one day I'll be lucky enough to have a song from Taylor. So, I take a deep breath and walk through the doors is the opening line of a Taylor Swift hit. But what age is she describing and is the title of her song? So that's the end of the music round, and we're only 10 questions away from the end. But let's just take a minute and just remember that the link at the bottom there, and it's been posted in the chat as well. If anybody wants to donate, please do. We've talked about the number of people, a rising 25% of people who asked for help in the last year, and the amount of money that Perennial have managed to help delay or write off in debt management, and the amount of money that they've been able to financially hand out. But that all comes from your donations. So please do donate. If everybody's happy, we'll move on to science and nature and the last 10 questions. So question 1 for science and nature. What is the collective name for a group of crows? That was, what is the collective name for a group of crows? Question 2. How many hearts do octopuses have? And my little boy is 4 and he could answer this question because he loves his animals. So, not to put any pressure on anybody, but a 4-year-old knows the answer to this question. That's, how many hearts do octopuses have? Question 3. Ascorbic acid is a form of what vitamin? That was, ascorbic acid is a form of which vitamin? Question 4. How many ribs do you have? Now, I asked this earlier, and my 11-year-old said 4, so an 11-year-old doesn't know the answer to this question. So that was, how many ribs do you have? Question 5. On the periodic table, what symbol stands for silver? So that was, on the periodic table, what symbol stands for silver? Question 6. Percy Spencer invented what time-saving kitchen appliance? So that was, Percy Spencer invented which time-saving kitchen appliance? Question 7. Which is the largest internal organ in the human body? That was, which is the largest internal organ in the human body? Question 8. What is the biggest planet in our solar system? That was, what is the biggest planet in our solar system? Just a little reminder there in the chat that you can donate by clicking on the link. As we come into the last 2 questions for the quiz. Question 9. How many wings does a mosquito have? How many wings does a mosquito have? And the last question for tonight's quiz is, what is the soft spot on a baby's head known as? And it's not just a soft spot. So that is, what is the soft spot on a baby's head known as? Okay, well, hopefully everybody's got all of those. If anybody missed any of those questions, then please mention in the chat and we'll quickly flick over any that have been missed. But again, just to reiterate, if you were to donate, where the money could go, £25 could buy hats, gloves, and scarves for families that need warm clothes in these trying times. £50 towards emergency food vouchers, and £100 could go towards a month's heating bill. Again, all great ways to spend money. I mean, the amount, as we've said a couple of times already now, the amount of people needing help has gone up by 25%. So any extra money that can be donated will certainly go to good causes and helping out in great ways. I think we should take a moment as well, again, to thank the sponsors of GroundsWeek, the GMA initiative. So we'll just take a moment to name those sponsors again, to thank those. Infinicut, Toro, Sisgrass, Sports and Turf by British Sugar, John Deere, Redexim, Nutrigrow, Premier Pictures, Kubota, Turf Business, Rigby Taylor, SGL, ICL, ISEKI, and Turf Matters. Again, I just reiterate what great companies they all are, and what a show of support is for the industry for all of those guys to be sponsoring GroundsWeek and showing their support. So amazing stuff. Right, we'll go over the answers for rounds 4 and 5 in one moment. But again, just think, you've not had to pay for that taxi home after that 4 or 5 drinks too many. So could that taxi money be donated along with everything else? And like we say, every little bit helps. So please do. All right, let's give you some answers then. So round 4 was music. Oh, sorry, I just see that Luke's donated, and that's great stuff. So thank you very much, Luke. And thank you to you too, Victoria and Clive. All right, let's give you these answers then for round 4. So the music round. According to Paul Simon's song, how many ways were there to leave your lover? And that was 50. Might have to listen to that one. Question 2. German songstress Nina had a hit about red balloons. But how many were there? There were 99, or 99 so Luftballons, if you listen to it in German. The Clovers sang about a love potion, but what number was that potion? It was love potion number 9. And Dolly Parton sang about her working day. What were her hours? As we said, clearly not in the turf care industry. She worked 9 to 5. Question 5. And that was the Beatles song. Oh, I need your love, babe, is the opening line to which Beatles song? And how many days a week did they need it? It was 8 days a week. Sorry, I can't help myself singing a Beatles song. Greatest band of all time. Question 6 was, how many birds did Bob Marley sing about? He sang about 3 little birds. Question 7, how many problems does Jay-Z sing about? He sang about 99 problems. Question 8 was, how many miles would the Proclaimers be? Well, I'm going to be 500 miles is the answer to that one. I'm not sure if I'm ready to move on from karaoke yet to Britain's Got Talent, Luke. Few drinks and a karaoke is good enough for me. Question 9. How many nations were in the army in the White Stripes 2003 hit? That was a 7-nation army. And question 10 for the music round. I take a deep breath and walk through the doors is the opening line of a Taylor Swift hit. But what age is she describing and is the title of that song? Okay, round 5 was science and nature. These are your last 10 points, so this should have put you up to 44 points so far, and this will take us up to the magic 54, and we'll find out how everybody's done after this round. So question 1 in round 5 was, what is the collective name for a group of crows? And that's a murder. So many of these collective names that are just a bit out there, but it's a murder of crows. How many hearts do octopuses have? Now, unfortunately, a 4-year-old should already be in bed, so he can't be here to give you the answer, but that is 3. Ascorbic acid is what form of is a form of which vitamin? Apologies. So that was ascorbic acid is a form of which vitamin? And that's vitamin C. Okay, you're very kind. Question 4 was, how many ribs do you have? And that's 24. Question 5, on the periodic table, what symbol stands for silver? That's Ag. And question 6, Percy Spencer invented which time-saving kitchen appliance? And that was the microwave cooker. I'm sure we can accept just the microwave. Question 7, which is the largest internal organ in the human body? Well, is the liver. And question 8, what is the biggest planet in our solar system? Was Jupiter. Question 9, how many wings does a mosquito have? It has 2. And the last question, what is a soft spot on a baby's head known as? And that's the fontanelle. So everybody have a count up. I'd love to see if you've done it in the old school way of blue or black pen for correct answers and a red cross for any wrong answers. But your total should be out of 54, and let's hope that there's been some good scores. Hopefully those last 2 rounds have helped boost some scores. And I think I've covered just about everything as we've talked about Perennial and the GMA as we're going through. But just want to recap that if anybody that you know is struggling, or you yourself, then don't be afraid to reach out to Perennial either by their website, perennial.org.uk, or by calling the number 0800 093 8543. I'm avoiding the score, Phil, and you're making me want to avoid it even more. There are people out there willing to help if you can just take that first step and ask. And if you're in a position to, then please donate. I know we've said it time and time again, but the link is there. Please do donate, and your donation could go towards helping somebody who's struggling. Victoria's first in with a score of 26. It's a great effort. Some of those were very tricky questions. Thanks for coming along, Chris. How did you do? $28 for Adam. Great score. 28 for Luke as well. 26 for Chris. Some good scores. Thank you for your donation, Gary. It means a lot. Thank you very much. And just remember, everybody, that the GMA have set up this campaign to celebrate and inform with the hashtag GroundsWeek. So please take a look on social media, see some of the amazing sports grounds and venues and the work that the grounds managers put into your local or your favourite sporting venues. And as I say, I hear the ones around Wimbledon are pretty good, if I do say so myself. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. Hopefully you've all had a good time, and as it is a Thursday, you've all been very sensible with your drinks. If you get a chance, please do donate, and please do check out social media and check out hashtag GroundsWeek. Oh no, Gary's lost some points. He's gone down to 20. Have we any more scores on the doors? Thank you, Anita. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Luke. Thank you, Kate. Thanks for joining us. I might have something special for that tomorrow, Adam, actually. Got a little something of an idea. Unfortunately, I can't paint GroundsWeek on centre court, but I do have a little something up my sleeve for tomorrow to celebrate the end of the working week for GroundsWeek. So I will be tweeting that out tomorrow. Thank you, Lindsay. Thanks for joining us. I don't think we saw your score, so hopefully you did all right. Yes, Jason does seem very quiet, so be interesting to see what Jace got. Well done, Jeff, on your 26. Not a worry at all. I think the next time you hear me sing might be after a seminar, but with 1 or 2 more drinks in me, there might be a full song come out. Okay, well, if that's all and there are no more scores to come in, then just like to say a massive thank you to the GMA and Perennial for inviting me to host. It's been an absolute pleasure and an honor, as I say. Big, massive thank you to everybody who's donated along the way, and a huge thank you to the GMA for the GroundsWeek initiative. And hopefully we'll see you all soon. And once this whole COVID situation's out, then maybe we'll get to meet in person, and we'll see you around soon. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for your time.